Gotta be honest here, this is like my 50th take on this video, but filming yourself alone can be extremely awkward. You're the director, the actor, camera operator, the audio engineer, the light setup, all of the above, and then you gotta edit it. But over time, as you figure it out and you start putting together your routine, things get easier. So that's what we're gonna get into today in this video. I want to talk about my solo creator workflow that I'm setting up in this office so I can come in, press record, and start making a video. So without further ado, let's get into it. Quick disclaimer, I do want to say that over time I have accumulated the stuff I'm about to show you, but I will throw up some alternative options that you can use for yourself and your creator journey as I'm going along. First up, camera. I am currently on the R6 Mark II. And so far it has been a great camera for me. I switch between two mics. I often just keep the Deity Duo on there just because usually I'm outside running and gunning instead of being inside. But today I am using the DJI mic because there is a lot of echo in this room because I don't have any sound panels and I'm still setting up this room. Check out that video here. But it is the Canon R6 Mark II with the DJI mic, sometimes Deity Duo, and an RF 16 to 28 lens that is on here. It is currently sitting on a Neewer desk stand that allows me to not only come up and down, but has a side arm that I'm able to put on if I want to add a mic closer to my mouth or something, or even if I want a second camera angle as I am shooting. One of the other things I would like to mention, the B-roll that you are going to be seeing throughout this video is recorded on the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. I'm not saying you need to have this to record content, because you don't. You can simply do it with your phone. Most phones nowadays shoot 4K 60 frames a second. I just happen to have this again because I've accumulated it over time. Some of the other camera options that you can use if you do not have the finances right now to get the R6 Mark II. The Canon R100 is a great beginner camera and it shoots 4K. The Canon RP shoots 4K as well, but it does not shoot RAW. So if you don't want to focus on the color grading, I recommend that camera. And then if you do have a little bit of money to kind of spend, but you don't want to go up super high, the Canon R7 is another great camera. You can get all of these used on KEH. If you're local to Texas, Precision Camera does ship out. I'm not going to go into any other cameras because I am strictly a Canon user because that is what my first camera was that was gifted to me. I'm very familiar with them. I'm not saying those other camera brands are bad, but this is what I choose to use. You got to find what works for you. And in that, you got to find what fits your budget. That's why I often say buy used. When I first started this journey, a lot of my camera gear was used camera gear, and I've just upgraded over time. Diving into audio a little bit more here. Like I said, I do use two different mics. I've got the DJI Mic Mini on me right now, but I also use the Deity Duo mic that comes with a dead cat and dual audio. So there's a microphone in the front and the back on this one. So when I am out and about filming with friends or I'm outside, I've got the wind reduction, and as I'm talking to somebody, I can get audio from back here while they're talking here. So those are the two that I recommend if you are filming in a studio or somewhere indoors where there is a lot of echo. I recommend a small lab mic. Hollyland makes good mics if you're looking for kind of like a cheaper option, or even if you want to upgrade, the DJI Mic Minis are great lavs to have with you, especially inside, because when there's a lot of echo, you can get close audio. And that is a big thing. When you are making videos, you want good audio. It doesn't matter if you have 4K, 60 frame, the best cream of the crop, 24 frames a second video. If your audio sucks, a lot of people aren't gonna watch it. And that is emphasized by me and a lot of other creators out there. So I recommend getting yourself some decent audio. You can pick this up on Amazon for 50 bucks, and then the DJI Mic Minis, I think you can pick up for this much right here. So, moving on. Okay, moving into lighting. I wanted to add something behind me because this whole white background as I'm filming gets blown out often. So I do have a K&F Concept ND filter on here because my camera shoots native at 800 ISO, not 100. I get a lot of noise and a lot of just meh at 100, but at 800, I get this crisp video. So I have this Aputure MC Pro light behind me. Right now, I'll eventually change the setup and probably add a lamp back here, but I just wanted something behind me to kind of offset this. And then I'm using the Neewer CV60B studio light with an Aputure mini softbox on it because I had to pick one up for a job. I usually like to stay on brand, but honestly, when you're kind of figuring out what you want, get everything so you can know what you want, what you like, how you like it, and what brand you're going to stick with most. I will say I am going to stick with the Neewer though, probably because everything I have is Neewer, and the price that you're currently seeing on the screen is so much better than some other brands out there. So that's all I'm going to say on that. Quick little tidbit on the lighting side though. When you do set up lighting, I'm not a professional. This is my setup. Other people do different things. Me being against a window would be a no-no for a lot of people. This is what I have right now. I'm working with what I got. So I put this hair light behind me so that way I can have a little bit of separation from the background, and then my light does not sit in front of me. It actually sits off to the side to cast that good shadow. I have my hat up because if I have it down, it creates a shadow here. So I keep my hat up as I'm filming so that way you can see this ugly mug. All right, moving on to the next thing that is going to be my desk setup. I am currently using a MacBook M4 Pro. When I first started, I was on a MacBook Air. You can utilize a MacBook Air, but I would upgrade to the highest possible. Not saying you need to go buy the newest MacBook Pro because this M4 still works, M3s still work, and M2s still work. I know a lot of people that are still on M2s. I just was able to have some finances, and I got this one, again, used. New out of box by Best Buy. It was used. So, moving on, I use and set up a HDMI cable to an HP monitor where I do most of my editing because with DaVinci, the wider the screen, the more you can add onto the screen, and I like to work usually on one screen. As you're seeing right now, on my DJI screen, I can have both the video and my inspector open, but also my timeline and my media. And then on my MacBook Pro, I either have to have the inspector or the video playing itself. I can't do both when I'm trying to shoot edit 9x16 reels. And that's hard for me because in today's world, 9x16 reels are where it matters. I will oftentimes remote monitor to my iPad to fix color grading and do things of that nature. I know, why don't you just move it over to your MacBook Pro? I don't know. This is my setup. This is what is working for me, and I'm trying to set up a utilized system that I can just come in, hit record, edit, and also when doing client work can do everything. But yeah, remote monitoring is easy. I use a lot of different SSDs, the LaCie Rugged, I use SanDisk, I also use the Samsung T7, and I use a lot of those just because, well, I tried the different ones. And there's a lot of stuff out there about SanDisk kind of crapping out, or even, I've heard a few Samsungs crap out, I've even heard a few LaCies crap out. But I recommend you buy what you can afford, see if you like it. Just format it right before you plug it up to your computer. I also recommend getting an external hard drive or SSD just because you can take that with you on the go when you first start creating. I recommend starting with 2 terabytes. That should be enough to get you going and get you moving along in the creator journey. But that's it. That's kind of the setup. I am setting it up to where I can come in, turn on my camera, hit record, offload my footage onto my computer, throw it up onto the editor, edit it out, turn around, and get it going. I'm doing this because I've never had a system in the past that has allowed me to do this, and I want to set up so I can. And I wanted to set it up this way, so I'm setting myself up for success in my creator journey as well. If this is something that you're interested in and you want to see more of, because I do have a series on my office being built out. I've only done episode 1 because I haven't done anything else. Because I've had a lot of work to do and I'm trying to get the rest of this house together. But if this is something you're into, something you're about, go ahead and maybe like the video. Go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to follow along with my creator journey. plus my office build, and ring that bell for notifications because I am going to be posting a lot more. Also, share this with somebody who's starting their creator journey. I'll see you in the next one. Peace!